I don't know how much of a hot take this is, but I honestly think Wild Hunt's pre-Uptie art looks better than his post-Uptie. Like, not that the post-Uptie is bad or anything, God, far from it. But, I mean, I don't know, there's something about the rain that's just real nice, and the, the broken mirror pieces. It's just cool overall. Hey, welcome back to more Limbus Company. I'm SlayerMathis. Last time we got through the start of Canto 2, and immediately fucked everything up. And this time we're going to hope to not fuck things up, or unfuck things. Or really anything of the sort. Can't stand watching this charade. How much time are we going to waste fighting those small fries? It's only the case that grumbling people don't have a clear solution to contribute. Listening to Ishmael's disapproval, Ryosha shook her head and assumed a confident look. This is art. Potaster, give me the knife. You may forever take it from my hands. But it will be better off parting ways to wander about the air for however long. Thanks. Did you just say thank? Thank. Ryosha held his dagger and threw it straight into the air. It struck an anchorage on the ceiling and kept the chandelier still, causing it to sway precariously. Indeed, Ryosha may be weakened from whatever she once was, because she became a sinner, but nevertheless, she was still the best swordswoman we had, able to cut through steel like a proverbial hot knife. Sure, she treats my words with less respect than she would a wad of gum, but that wasn't a problem. Everyone's eyes turned to the swinging chandelier, eventually flustered by all the gazes falling upon it. Lost in a haze, it succumbs. Huh? Watch out! Wham! The chandelier crashed to the floor in full force, making a tremendous noise. And that's just all it did. Nothing else happened. Both parties were left staring at the fallen light fixture in the middle of the floor. Hello, Cat. So, what was that for, Ryosha? A performance. You just made that up, didn't you? And still, I don't know if we're hurt. I'll have to say about that. I love that little scene. Just, Ryosha's just like, I fucking felt like doing that, so I did it. Anyways, we're still in the early part of the game, so all these encounters will be pretty easy. I haven't thought about it too much yet, but I feel like I do kind of want to go into a Rupture for what my full team ends up being. Just to make sure, you all know that our goal is to win the game being held at the top floor, not reduce the ground floor of the casino to rubble, right? I was certain that some definitely didn't know or care, but I figured I'd rather not remind her. Not only must we reach the top, we also have to win the game as our objective states. Thus, we need the wish power to make it happen. I won't bother reviewing in detail how the wish power we had managed to collect went down the drain for preposterous reasons. It'll only hurt our morale. I had to keep my head down, feeling the pricks of conscience poking at my heart. Where can we secure the most wish power in this place? The roulette next to the entrance. People visit the casino to try their daily luck using that roulette, and take a yield wish power depending on the outcome. Is that so? Let's take an opportunity to snatch the container attached to it. Think you can pull it off? I've carried out countless operations much greater in scale. Preposterous blunder amounts to nothing in the grander scheme of things, manager. It has to have been the fault of the dredging dredges who obfuscated your ability to make sensible decisions. Don't let their words deter you. Preposterous, I see. Wait. While we were busy discussing backup plans, Heathcliff was already making a mad dash for the entrance. Were we too focused on the conversation, or did we collectively lose our minds? In either case, none of us had a clue what we was up to. Heathcliff? Damn it, isn't this time we stopped chatting and moved up already? And he shouted at the security from the top of his lungs. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? Bloody hell, there's a rookie as unfledged as it gets! That mate they recall a manager to back his lost memories can't wield a weapon to save himself. What you're struggling against? What a joke. Damn you! Heathcliff, that was too harsh. Here, much to me, Heathcliff. And last thing, that club you hold, he deserves a better owner. You cocky little... The infuriated security guard swung the club with a furious wish, exploding toward Heathcliff. And as Heathcliff swerved out of its way, the roulette behind him bore the force, being smashed to pieces. The wish container! Sprouts of what I assumed was once wish power until moments ago poured to the poor remains of the roulette. As if in death throes, saw out an agonized scream before clapping her hands over her mouth. And I couldn't help but turn away from this tragic sight. When I grow up, I want to be a wish sticker, giving hope to everybody. We can almost hear the unfulfilled dreams of those lost wishes in my imagination. Oh, listen up, you thickos! Want to admit to your boys about breaking this thing while fighting us and getting unbasted for it? Or you make it our fault and let us through? That was just a month worth of luck. Won't be any safe for you upstairs. Never been too close to safety anyway. Appreciate the advice. Heathcliff came over to me with one of his shoulders dislocated, like when he was grazed by the club. So look, do you think fix me up? I've made up my mind. Starting now, I won't ever try to discuss plans or anything similar with these people. Took you long enough to realize. Faust, it's one of the times when it'd be better if you kept your mouth shut. With that, we dragged ourselves up to the next floor. And Kanto 2 gets a lot of slack for not being as serious as the later Kantos, but it's just fun. Like, Kanto 2 is just really fun. Move on to Sync. Yeah, I feel like I want to end up doing Rupture. I mean, part of that is just because right now is the Rupture season, but also, like, we have Devyat, we have Hierarch, so the atmosphere here seems rather different. Here's another syndicate has taken a hold of this floor. Hey, you're gone! What's with all the doom and gloom you're wearing on that face of yours? Don't you know the rules here? Someone looks on a no, to put a hat over your long face. When say we're looking at me, I will sink on you. What's that mean? Snap your neck completely, that's what. He's Ryosho, you should be so prone to starting fights. Hey, never mind that. These one even more problematic face, no? Which head is supposed to be your eyes? Ryosho, you ready? You bet, Dante. I love Ryosho Sangria. I forget exactly what Sangria stands for all the time, but she's just like shortening her words, and that's based. After so long of playing on my main account, it's really weird to see such low numbers as like 54. I'm used to seeing like several hundreds of damage or any other sorts of numbers. Let that sink in, get it? Again, we're still in, the early parts of the game where it is very easy. But we'll get to more difficult things later on, of course. That's how things work. Baile rola. We keep... Not again! I lost again, damn it! Wait, what is it? Oh, yes, better time out. Our dear customer here needs little care. Dear customer, I hope you haven't forgotten our rule, have you? But that was all the money I had! If you keep dumping the middle of the table, we might throw a pañata party out of you. What's a pañata party? I don't think I want to know. Pressured by the gentle intimidation, the weeping guests stood up from their seat. And then, being handed a pair of maracas from the staff, they started dancing. Stopping all the way. What's this now? It's a rule every visitor on this floor must follow. Un tradición mariachi, if you will. Gambling is entertainment, an activity done purely for fun. Lest all the sadness and pain brought to you must be sublimated into dance. I love this night to demonstrate what dancing is about! Alas, there are harsher judges than they seemed. These one won't do. Our movement is insincere. What on earth do you mean? Dance is a window to the heart. That a clear and pure heart loses all meaning. I find that assessment rather disgracious. It's getting further out of hand. What are you doing, Saw? Oh, I was writing a letter of apology in advance. And we go back to the day. Oh. Yeah. It's weird that how they talk about offense level and defense level at this point, but I explained that recently. I don't remember exactly when, but recently. This is a pretty fun team. I mean, it's still not the best, but yeah. As absurd as it sounds, if we won't leave this floor early, we're gonna need to touch their hearts with a powerful dance. As all of you know, my memories are hazy, so, dance is it? Can't say I'm all too familiar. I mean, it came in handy as an excuse to opt out of things at times like this. Of course, I haven't forgotten what dance is, but there's no need to be too honest about that, is there? Say, Honglu, have you taken dance lessons or anything? I learned a little beyond Mian, though I only had 3 instructors teaching me. To phone, I'll need a few masks, fans, makeup, and we aren't gonna find them here. Next. Well, I did step on a good few feet of snow with aristocrats and balls. My inner voice expresses fear. Me? I spent half my life on a ship. Dance is where... Jesus, relentless obstruction of my words! Sword dance for the first time in a while doesn't sound too bad. I'll kill it on the floor. So the only beats I've danced throughout my life were morning exercise programs during roll call. The manager so demanded I will immediately see to it that... I am good at most things, but dancing is kinda... embarrassing. I don't mind, except my arm might rage out of control from the stimulation charged for the young's heads. Folks not necessarily enjoy dancing for leisure, but to generally perform a routine if it is for the mission's sake. However, it is not technical perfection they want. Look for something unstable and unpolished. Rather. Sinclair? Huh? You must have moved to as a kid, didn't you? Bust? I suppose I took basic maracas course at school for the liberal arts class. You came from a rich family too? How do you figure that out, Oja? I can tell from the way he walks and talks. On the other hand, uncultured ones, shells, you know. Roger quietly giggled while looking at Heathcliff and snuck up behind Sinclair to wrap her arms around her shoulders. Okay, now, little Sinclair, I have a very, very important task for you. Hey, Rudy, would you? Moments later, Sinclair solemnly walked onto the stage. Sinclair, you can do this. And think of all the times when Heathcliff trampled over you. I'm... Sinclair turned to Roger, still looking anxious. Am I really able to do this? Wrong question, Sinclair. It's something only you can do. He returned a determined nod. That is striking. That pensive expression, restrained rhythm, perfection! I love some of these scenes. Like, look at Merceau with the little pan flute and Ryoshi with the little guitar. It's calm. It's the calmness that stirs my heart. This young man is channeling something from within. How sublime. He is fighting repressed darkness and near turmoil with all his motions. Oh, the embers lingering in glowing ash, heating their rhythm, for gestures to be struck along. Oh, these conjures an image, one of a bonfire that is burned through the whole night. Oh, listen to the cotillion of an ash dancing atop its remnant. Sorry, what? Young man, won't you consider joining us? You have the potential to grow big. That boy belongs to our company. You should not siphon any valuable talent from your current employment without permission is a serious crime. Just a few hours ago, Sinclair was only one more on our band of blunderheads, but now he's been elevated to the company's valuable asset. What a fine performance! You used to get to the top floor, right? You, my boss. You have earned the right. Be warned. The folks upstairs won't be quite as reasonable. They have no concept of festivity in their heads. Sinclair came back to us with an invigorated look. Oh, things only get inside me. This is what it was about. Actually, what I thought it would be hard. I feel much more comfortable now. I was curious to know the inner struggle he'd expressed in the dance that had touched the syndicate to their core, and what kind of hardship a young gentleman like him could have gone through, but those questions could wait. For now, he headed upstairs to the third floor. So it's probably something I'll end up bringing up in a little bit more detail later, but it still is a little bit relevant for right now. So the early stuff by of I believe all the way up through Canto 4, and 4.5, I think. We'll get to the half chapters later. Was drawn by an artist known as Vilmori. After some very weird controversy, I don't actually know the identity of Vilmori. I believe Vilmori might be a guy. I'm not sure, but Vilmori was laid off for largely PR reasons. But one thing I'm noticing just through going through the game again, Vilmori has such a distinct art style. We'll notice later on with some of the other stuff. No, it definitely is through 4.5 or yeah 4.5. But Vilmori just has such a distinct style, and like I do like the style of the of the CGs past in Canto 5 and beyond. But like there is something very charming about Vilmori's style that I don't know, it's almost endearing. Vilmori is also the artist behind Wonderlab. Wonderlab being a series that is questionably canon. I'll describe more about that as we get into the combat.
Whatever! You fellas have any idea what you just walk out to? Try mucking about, what makes the most acrobatic poses known to man out of you? It will up off your digits, struck by a gentleman, pretty much on Charles with him.
Jeez, some more for that was. Not one's let introductions like that go and said, "Alright, just up!" So, Wonderlab was a series that was, I believe, written before Library. It was a branch facility of Lobotomy Corporation and introduced the idea of aberrations, which we now see a little bit in Limbus. They were not named as aberrations, but for example, Ebony Queen's apple in the first dungeon is an aberration of Snow White's apple. And Vilmori was the artist for that. It did end up becoming kind of decanonized after Velmori's departure from the company. But again, like, Velmori's art style is very unique, and I do very much like it. It's like, just kind of thinking of some of the CGs that we see later on. Like, again, the current CGs are still very good. I don't know who the artist is that does the current CGs, but like, they're still fantastic. But it's definitely a different style. And honestly, I feel like the Velmori style fits more of the early Cantos. As we go on into the later Cantos, I feel like Velmori's style wouldn't quite click as well for some of the stories that they end up telling with, you know, Cantos 5 through 8. I don't know. Personal thoughts on that? Who knows? I could just be yapping for no reason. And we just keep going back here. Yeah, I mentioned before, I might do Rupture. I think Rupture is an interesting team. Of course, we are in the Rupture season right now, so that'll, of course, affect things. But, honestly, my bigger factor in that is the fact that I pulled Deviat Sinclair as well as Hierarch Ishmael. Because Hierarch Ishmael is very weird because she wants to retreat a lot. And, of course, retreats just hurt us for a while, until Canto 7, when chain battles become a thing. But the Deviat also follow along with retreat, so I can kind of do like a cycle through thing with there. I will have to check up how Deviat's retreats, or like how Courier Trunk exactly works, because that could change actually how I fully do things later on. I'm probably going to end up sharding for Deviat Rodian. Obviously I can't do that for a little while because I just don't have the resources for it, and I won't have the resources for a while. Well, I definitely won't have them for Canto 2. Because I forget I think Mirror Dungeon unlocks after Canto 2, and that's... Mirror Dungeon is really where you get the most of your grinding stuff done, so you get most of your manager level. But I do think I could probably, like, with Deviat, Roja, because there's only 4 IDs that have retreats. There might be 5. I'm not sure if Full Stop Hong Lu has a retreat. I know Full Stop Heathcliff does, but I'm not sure if Full Stop Hong Lu has a retreat. I can actually double check with that. Go to Walpurgis, go to Full Stop Rep Hong Lu. Just gonna quick check through. Does not look like he has a retreat. No, okay. Yeah, Overwatch assignment is just Heathcliff. But yeah, the idea for that would be something along the lines of, like, you know, I would just have, you know, 9 sinners, I think it would, 7 or 8 or 9 sinners with Deviats with Hierarch Ishmael, and just kind of keep rotating them. I'm not sure exactly how Courier Trunk works. I have to double check if it... The main thing is just checking if it comes... Actually, I can probably check now, honestly. Probably before retreat. Does not expire upon retreat, okay. Stored instead. If it expired on retreat, that would be really nice for me, but, well. Gobsmack! It's probably our final mission for today.
You better keep your nose safe and sound, cause for kick the can, we might need something else.
I almost forgot. These are the ones known for the coarse language. Whereas it took down dozens of robbers, syndicate members with just psychological damage inflicted via their tongues. Oh, you watch your mouths, one.
Oh, you're crazy nitwitch. Keep us out of sight, won't you? Them big balls of junkyard parts are unnerving. Easy, bud. I took a shouting crack at one of them eggs earlier. Before it looked like the whole noggin was cave empty. Well, bless me sideways. You've got a string of egg noodles for brains. What's the right thing on their shoulders then? A bag of gas?
I think I want to took lessons assholery from the same class. I mean, it was kind of funny. Not sure what you were looking at before. Dead.
You're bloody dead!
Oh. There's a specific cutscene I want to get to before we end things off, so yeah. Time to cut away again. Easy win. Again, I've said this several times already, but can't taste pretty easy. How should you? Won't get anyone if you keep fighting. I'm surprised this brought a lot of chuckle. Let's consider. I have a trump card. What now? So person sees from something legit. Give it a good. Just honestly, this might be my favorite Valmori art thing, just because like there's so much going on that is hilarious. Of course, Ryoshi there, got Roja, the young boys, our young German boys' ears. Ishmael's face is hilarious to me. This one, just because there's censors, I ain't gonna read this shit out, because I don't fucking censor myself. I never knew it was possible for the human tongue to give such a detailed account of something so sickeningly gruesome. The thug's eyes were uncharacteristically twinkling. Some were even taking notes.
I'll be damned, shit be struck.
Oh, hey, that shit could be better.
Yeah, what they call a witness of the tongue, eh, lady?
Must be a go over with you. In his life, the man must have had a rougher life than most in the back streets, shuddered by the end. Cannot help but applaud the creativity. Need the pen, nay, the tongue is smarter than the sword. I thought I was pretty familiar with the sailor's mouth, but I can see fair for half my life. It's been realized my vocabulary was only the tip of the iceberg. I honestly couldn't fathom why the higher-ups would organize a team of people like you. I don't suppose the lineup was meant to be understood by the likes of us. I'm having trouble figuring out the meaning of this personnel measure. But I guess this is still bad after all. Sod, you finally reached the stage of acceptance. Congratulations. I just love how smug Faust is doing that. Just like, she's gone through the whole... Honestly, Sod has gone entirely through her depression arc. But that will do it for this time. Next time, actually, now we'll make it to the dungeon. Should be pretty close. This isn't good. We reached the top floor, but we don't have nearly enough wish power. No worries. I've been itching to tell you this. When it's final time, why don't you pinch a little wish power back at the pawn shop? Then a lot should be just enough, right? Or just show us a wish ticker sheet with a few labels left on it. Why didn't you tell us earlier? Like I said, gambling's all about keeping a poker face. Don't want to see one of us slip up and complicate things. As the boss, well, mind if I borrow it for a sec, Dante? I nodded, since I wasn't really doing much in disguise anyway. Even if it weren't committed to the act, it would only be right for me to forfeit with my knees bent, since things played out the way they did. I would have been vehemently against it only hours ago, but now, good thinking. I never lost once did anything when money was involved. Alright? Justin enters. Wait, I'm not the last. Oh, there goes my cool entry. You are? Name's Rodin. Here to gamble with the right to access the basement. I was looking forward to trying to get me the infamous wish power whisker in person, and look good instead. Not you little too confident for some unidentified stranger. What a dull take. It's not who you are that matters in this world, right? It's about who wins. Well, you aren't wrong there. The fact you were able to get here is proof enough that you're qualified. A pleasure. I made it. And this is...
Golly, my back's hurting.
Robot. No, prosthetic?
What's that stare? Never seen a full body prosthetic before.
Is that model a bit too antiquated? Kinda looks like it belongs in a museum.
Old is gold, as they say. Patched it up a few times, and now it's sturdier than most new ones. Why is that boy being so sluggish about coming here anyway? The arrogant brat thinks he could show up late to serious business, eh?
Pardon me. I had an urgent matter.
Think the world revolves around you, Sonya? Do you crave your attention so much you have to run late and be shouting glares?
I didn't mean to. If anything, you'd be better fit as a protagonist of life, Ada. It's been a while, Rocha.
What's up? You two know each other?
Let's say we share a hometown. Isn't that right, Rocha? So are you still living to your divvy then? Dunno. Might be too early to say still. You're the one left on your own just like that.
Now, that's enough chatting. Since we have all the players, let's go over the rules again. 4 bears for the casino are here. Sonya, Ada, it's you representing the Tang Gang's boss, suspicious yet shameless standing. No cheats or hands allowed during the game. Want you spotted in the act, you're out. It should go without saying that anything involved with wish power is forbidden as well. Soon as you're caught, you're on the chopping block. You'll sorely regret it. We'll play 3 games total. The one with most chips wins. Sounds simple enough. Winner get to take the elevator to the underground portion where the golden bow is. It's a treasure the former owner of this casino was so desperate to claim, taking a whole tunnel to unearth it. And they suddenly corrupt for reasons unknown, making us the lucky bidders. And only way to put it that they died under shady circumstances. Oh, Rojo. So cynical as ever, eh? Shut up. How do you guys know about the golden bow, though? Didn't think it would be so widely known to the public. And I just think it worth its name to call one of the stories. Those about the golden bow are buried down here, and the riches and fame will bring the owner. If that's the case, seeing someone has gained interest for worldly luxuries, huh? How do we stay away from those things, Sonia? The golden bow can be used to achieve far greater things, Rojo. My purpose is stated the same. Destroy the system of oppression and exploitation, running the concentration of wealth. Yeesh, there he goes again with the grand words. Someone stop him. My apologies, it reminded me of the old times. It's funny, I used to keep you from your obsession with gambling and money. Yet here we are at the same table, keeping our hands of cards from each other in a gamble with our goals in the line. What is your goal? To win? Of course. And here's why we see it's Rojas Kanto.
Stop right there!
We're at the final round. Y'all keeping a good eye on your chips? I'm all in. All in? Doesn't understand how, Roger. That swag of yours been rubbing me the wrong way, you know that. You're pushing yourself to the edge, so what are you counting on? I'm the kind of gal who bets everything she has at the end. Stop right there. Pull your sleeve up. Don't think I didn't see you being sneaky. Huh? You just put one of them wish stickers you got from the Tang Tang boss man on your arm. You are trying to rake in all the chips this round, so you have the golden bow all to yourself. Look, everyone, right here, beneath her hand, this thing. It's gotta be the sticker, hey. Got proof? Sorry, Roger, but try to take a look at yours for a second. Nah, you aren't. Don't you touch her. Far as I know, you two might be in cahoots. Now, I'll lay her arm bare, so keep your eyes peeled. I knew this sly little fox would play dirty. Hold on now, these situation dialogue. Oh, feel awfully familiar. Haven't I seen this before somewhere? Small-minded for someone so big. Do you have to be so petty about this? And didn't they teach you that with stolen wish power comes strict responsibility? Watch many movies, man. What's stolen? You find nothing when we fold and walk out. Huh? You've got guts. Fine. I'll bet all my stakes that there's a piece of the wish power on your wrist. What do you say? Same as yours? So which one of us about to go bust then? Scared, are you? Ha 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 ha! Oh, that's cute. You get that from somewhere? Anyway, that means your words are final. Hey. Oh my, it's going exactly how I remember it. I'm pretty sure the conclusion was. Here it goes. Let us confirm then. Ooh, what's going on here? I saw it. I saw the little fox rub our wrist. There's no way. Means you're out. What a pity. I'm still loose then. Lob off a hand or something? You're joking, right, Rojo? There's no point in moving a pathetic hand. No, this can't be right. Defeat will show generosity, but false accusations taken care of with more caution. Hang on, are you? What in the? For the wing's sake, can you please give me a warning? Just a little one. Oh, look at all the grease and spinal fluid. Ugh. Remember, Rojo? It's trashing back to we saw the waste disposal on our back streets. I told you back then that we proletarians should unite to take down the ruling class and build a new society. So then you replied, if you mean we should round up the rich and flatten them under one of those compactors, then I'm all for it. Small correction, I said cushion pop them. Is that so? Rojo, still unwilling to return to the Urdivy. Did you all hear loud slammers now? Undoubtedly. I record about wish power and the like. Oh, I found out! Oh, quick, go and turn that clock! Oh, please stop pushing up! Well, unfortunately the door we were leaning against was a flimsy wooden frame covered with rice paper. Well, tumbled into the room as the door fell. Even when we win, we find a way to fuck everything up. That's just the Limbus Company way. The winner! What are you supposed to be? How'd it go?
Made new friends in the meantime, have you, Roja? So he laid his hand of cards open on the table. The game is over. You win, Rojin. I have no objections. He had left the door and didn't return. Instead, deafening hollow claps suddenly filled the room. Ah, ha, caramba! I enjoy the spectacle, but I'm not as cool as Sonya. Since you brought friends, why don't I introduce some of mine as well? No, I'm pretty sure I had a member of the city could say that gambling was purely entertainment for you. Mm-hmm. So is this more entertaining than stepping feet right away? You're gonna push on with force regardless of who won, weren't you? Think about it. I have strength and manpower, so why do I give up on the golden bow just because around a 3-game said so? Alright then. I'm actually glad you're a rebel. I'm starting to get bored of sitting around too. This fight actually can be a little bit tricky. Not the most difficult thing in the world, but it has potential to be a bit of a problem. Not early on. The Los Mariachis aren't the most tricky thing in the world to deal with. However, later on, when we get Ada herself, she can be a little bit on the tough side. But first, we just gotta, you know, pop some mariachis like a bunch of pimples. I'm still gonna talk this one just because it's kind of a mini-boss fight. Again, anything that's an unfocused encounter, regular encounter, human encounter, however you want to refer to it as, essentially it's all the same thing. Nothing like this is... Okay, there's one exception. There's one regular encounter that can be difficult. That, like, prepper is difficult, I would say. But we aren't going to get that one for quite a while. That one is right before Canto 5. Canto 6, sorry. I don't know, okay. I'm just going to bring this up now. I always, we're going to get to it later, but I always forget Canto 3 exists. I did mention it previously that, like, while I do think that in terms of writing, Canto 2 is the least good, I still like it more than Canto 3. Because I just keep forgetting that Canto 3 exists. Oh, we're gonna have this super easy. But Ada can be a little bit tricky. She rolls a 12, which, for when you just have your base IDs, is pretty rough. She can roll decently. Pinata Party rolls in 11, which again, early on is a little bit tricky. And she can potentially gain 1 power up as well. Yeah, like she's rolling a 13 right there. But have we seen the horse yet? I don't think we have seen Delahan yet. But, I mean, we got it to a point where it's just Ada left, so if we somehow don't win this, then, like, yeah, bye-bye. It is kind of interesting that she doesn't die. She doesn't explode into piles of gore, but alas. And that refills us. And next time we have a dungeon to go through. We'll not go through the whole thing. I'm not exactly certain how I'm going to run this series. If I'm going to always keep to 20 minutes, because there will be some. For example, on my main account, the final boss fight that I had. I'm just gonna do this because I'm in my recording session. The final boss fight of Canto 8 on my main account took me about 2 hours for just the one fight. I have Wild Hunt already. I could maybe get some Ego, but we'll end things off with a temple. And Warp Corp Faust. 2 Warp Fausts, okay. Warp is our first instance of Charge. Charge does nothing by itself, but is used for stronger skills in order to do different things. This one, she gains Charge with her S1, and yeah, I think she just gets a bunch more. actually pretty good with self-charging. And then inflicts attack, power down, paralyze. It's a good supportive ID, I would say. But if we're talking about charge, W Corp Ryoshu is kind of the big one. DD rolls up. Okay, right at base it just rolls up to an 11. However, plus 5 coin power. So yeah, it ends up rolling at 23. And it's kind of insane. Yeah. It's one of the higher rolling skills in the game. Rolls up to 23. I believe the highest rolling skills are Lament, Mourn, Despair. The enhanced skill 3 for Wild Hunt. DDEDR. And we go into One Who Shall Grip for self-destructive purges at a 30. And then the Don's Don's quote-unquote bad end ID rolls I think it rolls a 32 with everything. Hold up. Manager of La Mancha Land. We go to here. Base power plus 1, so you get plus 3, plus 2, so what, 7, 28, yeah, like 35, I think it is. It's kind of absurd how strong Manager Don is. It'll be a while, like, it's something that I will eventually show off. I have it on my main account, which is fucking amazing. But yeah, we'll eventually get that. Yeah, Devia, in terms of our Rupture plans, obviously Hierarch Candidate will be really nice to have. I should probably up-tie to either of you. Or maybe I just wait for a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, once we finish off Kanto 2, actually, you know what? That's fine. Actually, I'm going to still do the dungeon this recording session. I lied. I'm having fun right now. But then, yeah, first episode after the dungeon, we'll do Mirror. But yeah, that'll be stuff for next time and a few times beyond that.